Razor here with drummer Mike Wengren from Disturbed. Mike, how are you?
I'm pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Where are you at today?
I'm at home. Just got back from the gym, actually.
Yeah. Are you a big gym rat?
Yeah, what I do obviously up there on stage is pretty physical. And as I get older, I want to be able to do it for a while. So, just trying to take care of myself and stay fit so I can go up there and throw down.
Yeah, I get you. People don't realize that. They think you just go up on stage and start banging things out, but you really have to be in physical shape to go out on the road to do that night after night after night. And it could be probably a little grueling at times, but yeah, you really have to be almost like a sports athlete in that regard, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of training involved. Maybe not to that level per se, but I just want to make sure that when the fans come out and they see the show, that I'm giving them 100%.
Yeah, and you definitely do that. Well, let me say first of all, today the new album is out here. This is your eighth album or eighth album,
Eight
I think it
studio,
is.
yeah,
Divisive is the name of it, correct?
correct. Yes, sir.
And congratulations on the success of the single, "Hey You." Big stuff with that one, and wow, you guys are back. You missed the mark. Disturbed is
We're
back.
back, baby. We're back
You
with a vengeance.
you are. It's been I think it's like 4 years since the last album. And in between that, obviously we had some stuff going on that everybody in the world was affected by. How did you just you personally, how'd you deal with things?
Well, I think like a lot of us, I was just basically bouncing off the walls. It was challenging for all of us, not being able to necessarily socialize and go out and live a normal life. But in our case, to have built this career, for 20 plus years and then have that all taken away, not to be able to not even just see each other, but like not play or perform. That was really, really difficult. It was and for a little while there it was like, is this ever gonna get any better? Is we gonna be
Right.
allowed to do this again? So, it was a little bleak there for a bit, but you know what? I'm glad that everybody is safe now and we can all start to live a little bit more normal lives and we can all get back to doing what we love.
When you guys started doing the album, recording the whole deal, were you guys doing anything differently than you had done before? Did that change anything? Were you able to utilize technology a bit differently or anything like that?
We've done it both ways in the past, and for us, we found there's no substitution for being in a room together. We're very much about feeding off of live energy. When we're on stage performing, it's about feeding off of not just each other on stage, but the audience as well. That's a huge part of what we do is that energy. So for us, when we create the music, being in a room together is really essential. So yeah, I mean, of course, technology exists, and maybe there were a couple times where we throw some ideas back and forth, but ultimately, with the pandemic still happening at the time and travel restrictions still being full speed ahead back then, we didn't get a chance to utilize that. So we just kind of held on and waited until things started to open up a little bit, and then when we can finally start to meet together, that's what we did. First chance we got, had a bunch of meetings and got in a room together and just started throwing ideas around. And the thing is, like, everybody else who was struggling through the same situation, there was no shortage of any type of frustration to fuel the material for aggressive record. So can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Yeah, well, they can hear it now. It's out today. The album's out today. Everybody can get it wherever people get albums these days. I don't know. Everybody's different these days, but it's good to have you guys back. 10 new tracks on this album. What is your favorite track off of it?
Oh man. We get that. That's a question we get asked a lot. And that's a tough question to answer. I hate to be so cliche about it, and say that they're all of our children and we love them equally. But I'm really proud of the record because It's old school Disturbed. It's aggressive, it's heavy. And I think, as far as people hearing like the songs like Hey You and Unstoppable, those are very good indications of what the record's like. And there's even some heavier ones on there as well. Um, yeah, it's hard for me to pick a favorite.
Well, you got a new single out that came out earlier this week called Bad Man. What can you tell me about that particular tune?
Oh, that one's really, really fun to play, actually. We did a handful of shows earlier in the year, and the album and single wasn't out yet, so we didn't get it. We haven't played that one live just yet. We've only been able to do "Hey You" and "Unstoppable," and right now we don't have any touring scheduled until next year. So I am chomping at the bit to play that one because it is very fun from a drumming perspective, challenging, fun, and yeah, can't wait to throw that one down.
How about the tune that features Ann Wilson of Heart on that? I'm forgetting the name of it, but that's an interesting one.
It's called "Don't Tell Me."
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, she that was something that just kind of organically came together in the studio. We were there, and where David was performing his vocal parts, and just started thinking that this particular song would lend itself really well as a duet. And it wasn't even really like there was a wish list of people. It was Anne. That was it.
Wow.
David said, let's try and get a hold of her and see if she'd be down with it." And we couldn't be um, more honored to have an icon, a legend as herself, you know, make that contribution. It was amazing. If anything, that's probably one of the songs I'm most excited for people to hear, because she killed it. She said when she recorded, it was 71 years old, and she just slayed it. Amazing. Her voice is just the best.
I mean, was there any doubt that she wouldn't kill it? It really is the question. And
There was never a
probably
doubt,
not.
but just hearing it, like hearing her voice
Yeah.
on our song, and David's voice and Ann's voice just blend so well together. It's I'm really excited for people to
And
hear it.
she was receptive immediately to it, right? When you approached her? Yeah.
Yeah, she was. It was kind of funny when we released Sound of Silence a few years back. She was one of the known celebrities out there that went on Twitter and praised the song. And so David and her struck up a rapport and just kept in contact. So it was kind of just easy when it came down to doing the song. He just reached out to her, and she was more than happy to oblige.
That's so cool. Very cool. So you touched briefly on touring, and I know there's not a lot of stuff out there just yet, but as you guys think about touring and getting into, back into that whole thing, is there anything differently that you're looking at approaching differently, or anything you're talking about addressing differently, anything like that?
Well, it's a little more challenging these days, prior than before the pandemic, just because of logistics, supply chain issues, fuel prices being so high right now. That affects a lot of things, trucking and busing, and just getting from point A to point B. So our amazing team that we have at management is working diligently to put together something that makes sense so we can go out there and throw down the way that we want to do it.
I mean, that's really how you have to look at it these days. Are there, you obviously, you can't tell us, but any bands that you're looking at bringing out with you? Anything that you're looking at that's really kind of sticking out right now?
Nothing I can announce just yet. There's a few front runners. We're just I'm just trying to see if we can get all of our schedules to line up and make it work.
I mean, that's really what you got to do. I mean,
Really.
all about the routing. So, I, it's tough getting out there on the road, and a lot of people are out there. Do you feel that there's a little oversaturation with some of these tours out there right now? Is that something you guys are thinking about as well?
Yeah, I mean that's something that is happening. There were so many bands that couldn't do what they love that the minute the gate was open, they went out. We weren't not necessarily in that position yet because we were still pretty heavy into the recording process and whatnot. But yeah, that's something we're thinking about. We want to definitely put together a good package so that if people do have to make a choice, and hopefully we can tempt them enough to choose our package.
Well, I think you guys have a strong, background of touring, and everybody knows what you guys do. So I think it's going to be a pretty solid win for you guys. It's a no-brainer to go see a Disturbed show, And whenever there's a Arizona date announced, I'm sure we'll get that. I think it's been about I think 2016 was the last time we were actually in Tucson for one of
Okay.
our KFMA Day thing. So it's been a while since you've been here. So maybe somewhere down the road on that tour, you guys can make a stop here in Tucson. That would be
Sounds like we're
awesome.
due.
Yeah, very overdue. Mike Wengren, Disturbed, congratulations on the new album, Decisive. It's Divisive rather. It's out now. It's out today. Everywhere that you can get your albums out. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with you guys here in the tour and in the near future. And much success to you guys.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Take care, man.
Take care.
All right.